now to the fourth indictment of Donald Trump, this time in Georgia.
And joining us with some insight is former Massachusetts Attorney General and current attorney with Foley Hoag, Martha Coakley. Martha, thanks for being with us as always. We appreciate it. All right, let's start with this case. 19 defendants, that includes the former president. How do you even try 19 people at the same time?
In a very difficult way. It is a large group of people. My guess is there will be people who will cooperate, who will plead. There will be separations of these trials. They'll move for separate trials. But logistically, just trying to do that in any state courtroom doesn't really work very well.
And it's certainly in the timeline that she had laid out, 6 months from now is unlikely.
It's unlikely just because there's so many lawyers. There'll be so many motions to suppress. There'll be a lot of separate issues with each defendant, I would guess. So 6 months is certainly an ambitious schedule, but I think it's a placeholder for her, and we'll see what happens after that.
Okay, so the district attorney, Fani Willis, she decided to bring this under Georgia's RICO law, right? And so that's typically reserved for organized crime. Why would that choice be made? My understanding, it allows her to tell kind of a full story?
Totally. And 7 states have RICO statute. Massachusetts does not. But it does give you the leeway that she has used with certain predicate crimes to pull all this together and basically tell a story. That indictment, if anyone wants to read it, is pretty compelling reading of the acts that occurred from the time of the election in November till well past January 6th in 2021.
All right, this is the 4th indictment of the former president now. Chris Christie, I heard this morning, he certainly is no friend of the president. He has been out. He's been his most vocal opponent and critical of him through all this, saying he's not fit to serve. Even he, though, said on Fox News this morning he doesn't know if this case is maybe necessary for Trump himself, because a lot of the crime here was covered under the indictment that just happened with Jack Smith. Do you agree with that assessment?
I don't. I think that Jack Smith's indictment is very tight about the president and about what happened in a big picture. But this indictment lets you zoom in very specifically in one state on this electoral scheme, how that was done fraudulently. It's complete. It's not duplicative. It really is complementary to what Jack Smith did. And look, Chris Christie is running for president, and he's in New Hampshire. And so he has been tough on Trump, and maybe he just figured he'd say something nice for a change.
Yeah, well, talking about the federal case, there's a lot of talk that perhaps Trump's attorneys will try to move this to federal court. In state court, he can't be pardoned easily. A federal court, that changes things. What are your thoughts on, the feasibility that he could move this from state to federal court?
I think they will try, because his lawyers tend to want to slow everything down. So anything that might take time, they will do. This is very anchored in Georgia. There's a reason both in that county and in that state the DA has jurisdiction over it. I think any effort like that will be unsuccessful, as it has been in the past, because the former president has tried this in other matters.
And one more quickly before you go. I know you're not a Georgia legal expert, but this will be different in that we'll see a mugshot, maybe cameras in the courtroom for this. This is going to open to the public view in ways that these federal cases have not been, right?
Potentially, yes. And of course, Massachusetts State Court, we have cameras in courtrooms. We've done that for years. So it will be different, but it will look in some ways like a federal trial because of the RICO indictments. But it looks like he's going to surrender, and yes, he will probably be fingerprinted, and the shot will be taken.
Okay, that will be a new development for sure. Martha Coakley, thank you for joining us and for being here with us live in the studio.
My
Great
pleasure.
to have you.
Good to see you. Thank you.